Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss business environment in our entrepreneurship. In today's topic, we're going to learn the different factors that may affect a business. If you are launching a new business or improving an existing business, you're facing one big challenge. You need to know what are the factors that could affect a business in building it into a strong, profitable business that can compete in today's market. Businesses do not operate in a vacuum, but rather in a dynamic environment that has a direct influence on how they operate and whether they will achieve their objectives. The business environment is a dynamic environment that businesses should be flexible to cope up with the changes in the business environment. Business environment is the sum or collection of all internal and external factors. And these factors affect the function of the company and how a company works directly or indirectly. Business environment is categorized into two. We have internal environment as well as external environment. Internal environment, as the word says, it depicts that it's internal, which means any factor that you can find within an organization or a company, inside the company, is considered as internal environment. Whereas external environment is anything that's outside the company that may affect the business. Analyzing the business environment helps in identifying the business opportunities, tapping useful resources, assist in planning, and improves the overall growth and performance as well as profitability of the business. Analyzing the business environment will let the business know what are the key trends in the market now. Okay, so it could be through the technological trends, it could be social and cultural, it could be socio-economic or regulatory. Aside from that, you will be able to find out also the different market forces that will have an impact to your company. What are these market forces? It may include the market segments, the needs and demands, the market issues. Are there any changes? Do you still have a grip of your market segment, of your market share? When I say market share, the number of customers that you can get from a market. Okay, so those are very important factors that you should know. Then another one is macroeconomics. Macroeconomic forces refers to the global market conditions as well as to the capital markets, commodities and other resources, and economic infrastructures. What could be the economic factors that could affect your business? Then another is for companies or businesses to be able to know the industry forces. When you say industry forces, this is where your business belongs to. Like for example, if we talk about fast food industry, then you already know that Jollibee, McDo are already included there. If it is a construction industry, then all businesses that are involved in construction. Okay, so industry forces may include suppliers, other value chain factors, the stakeholders. When we say stakeholders, all the individual who may benefit or who have an influence over the business. We have competitors also. We have new entrants and the substitute products. All of these factors may contribute in the success and growth of a business. Therefore, it is important for us to analyze the business environment, which may include internal environment as well as external environment. When we say external environment, it is also categorized into two. We have the macro and the micro environment. Internal business environment. So anything inside the company or the business is considered as internal business environment. When we say internal environment, the industry in which a small forces within the company that affects its ability to serve its customers. So anything within a company, anything within the business. So it may include the mission, vision of the business, the products and services, the resources, the processes, and other parts of the business. your influence is very high in this factor because you have control over those factors. Being the business owner or the manager, you have a great deal of control over the entire internal environment of the business, which covers the day-to-day decisions. Okay, so this factor or this internal environment is important for determining your right marketing strategy, and it is important in a business environment. Okay, so what could be some parts of the important, or what could be some of the important parts of an internal environment? And it includes the vision, the mission, the goal, the objective, and the activities of the organization or the company. So they are used to communicate to stockholders or to the different stakeholders. Okay, so we also have technology and machines. Okay, so the all the technology resources that you use within the company. You have the different departments. You have the human resources. Okay, you have security within your business. Okay, you have the processes of your business. You have control over them. Okay, so you have the policies within your business that needs to be followed. Okay, it serves as a guide. So you have control over the internal business environment. Together, they determine the course and what other parts of the internal environment are needed. Okay, your people resources, okay, they are very important part of your internal business environment. Then let's move on to the external business environment. Okay, so when we say external business environment, it includes the macro and the micro business environment. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about macro environment. This is the larger societal forces that affect the micro environment. And so your influence over these factors is very low. This is the most difficult to influence. Okay, so it is broader, it has a wide scope. You don't have actually a control over these factors. Okay, the major external factors that influence an organization's decision making and affects its performance and strategies comes from the macro environment, and it includes demography, economy, natural forces, technology, politics, and culture. Okay, so demographic forces, this relate to people. Demography, like kinds and characteristics of a population. How you get the demography? These are the information that you usually include in a survey form. Okay, the information that you get from people. Okay, we call them demographic factors. And we have the this is important because we based here what kind of products, okay, that could cater their needs. Then we also have economic forces. Wider economy may include different economic factors like employment and unemployment. This is very important factor because it is very important to determine your prospective customers. Okay, their buying power. So it is very important. Okay, so it may also include the exchange rates of monetary exchange rates in the market, because these exchange rates may also affect the inflation and deflation of the economy. Then we have the natural forces, like for example calamities. You don't have any control over those natural forces, but they affect your business. They may affect your business. The current pandemic, we don't have any control over that event, but it could affect our business. It actually affects the business. Then we have technology factors. Ma'am, there's already technology in the internal environment. Why there is again a technology in the macro environment? In the internal environment, we talk about the available technologies in your business. So whatever technology, machines that you're already using, then that is your control. Okay? That is your control within your environment, within your internal environment. But in the external environment, which is the macro environment, when we say technology, this is the continuous innovation of technologies. So you don't have any control over that technology. So this affects your business. Let's say, for example, if there is an advancement in technology and you don't have the ability to avail of that technology, then it may affect your business. Okay, so it's how you are going to avail of the advancement that is introduced or the innovation that is introduced in the market that you are good for your business. Then we have politics. Okay, it may include our government, the different organizations that may affect our business. Okay, the lawmakers that regulate those and regulations. Okay, that may affect our business. Like for example, if new law is being implemented for taxation and it will raise the tax percentage, then it may affect our business. We don't have any control over that, but we have to follow. We have to adhere to that law so that we will not have any legal responsibilities in the future. Then of course we have culture. When we talk of culture, about culture, we are referring to the perceptions and preference of our preferences of our customers, the prospective customers, the behavior of our prospective customers, and it is very important because it may affect your business. If their perception or about your business is not that in alignment of what you are giving to them, then the chances are they are not going to buy from you. Okay, so you have to know the perceptions or the preferences or the behavior of your prospective customers. And let's move on to micro environment. So when we say micro environment, we talk about the customers, the suppliers, the competitors, the civil society, or the community where we establish our business. Okay, so you have an limited influence over these factors because you can do actually something about these factors. Like say, for example, for customers. Okay, so in the market where we have the bulk of customers, since you are introducing a product or you are offering a product, how many percentage can you cater from the total number of customers? Okay, so what is the percentage of your customer over the total market? So if you're going to improve the percentage of your customer, then you can do something. You can intensify your marketing campaigns, okay, your advertisement campaigns, so that customers will know about your business. So the suppliers, okay, suppliers are very vital part of the supply chain, which sees value added at all stages from conception to consumption. Okay, so it's very important because when the suppliers have no enough supply to give you, then it may affect the operation of your business. Okay, so can you control a supplier? Totally not, but you can actually keep them if you have a good relationship with your suppliers. Competitors. In the market, there are a lot of competitors. So, can you control them? Of course not. But you can do something, okay, to minimize the effect of competitors. What will you do is to improve your marketing strategies, your business strategy, so that you can keep up with your competitors and your business will be able to be at par with your competitors. Then civil society is the community where you establish your business, so you have to adhere with the regulations within that civil community or society. Okay, so you should keep in mind that external factors and internal factors can influence each other and work together to affect a business. Let's say, for example, during with our situation now that we are in a pandemic, it affects the business in many ways. One way is the quarantine protocols may affect the operation of the business. The limitations that IATF provide to businesses may affect the operation. Okay, so the capacity now of customers within a restaurant is very limited. It depends on the quarantine level of your area. If if some of your employees or one of your employee is affected by the virus, then he will not be able to resume to work. Therefore, your operation may be affected. If your suppliers are affected by the pandemic, then it may still affect your operation. Okay, so if there will be no supplies for your business, therefore this is a factor that could influence both. Okay, so internal and external factors. Again, so when we say internal environment, it speaks about whatever that you can see within your company. So you have there your employees, your cash flows, your capital assets, your materials, your structure. Then when we say external environment, we have micro environment and macro environment. So micro environment, it includes your stakeholders, okay? So it may include the investors, the owners, okay, the shareholders, okay, so they are your stakeholders. We have the competitors, suppliers, intermediaries, consumers or customers, and others. Then of course, we have for macro environment, factors that you don't have control over. You have your political, environmental, social, technological, legal, natural resources. So those are your macro environment. Okay, so what are the features of business environment? The main features of business environment are, first, all the external forces. Business environment includes all the forces, okay, institutions and factors which directly or indirectly affect the business organizations. Then we have the specific and general forces. The specific and general forces, this business environment includes the specific forces such as the investors, the customers, the competitors, and suppliers. Non-human or general forces are social, legal, technological, political, natural, and others which affect the business indirectly. Interrelation, all the forces and factors of business environment are interrelated to each other. So for example, with inclination of youth towards Western culture, the demand for fast food is also increasing, or rather that the demand for fast food delivery is now increasing because of our situation. Then next one is uncertainty. It is very difficult to predict the changes of business environment. As environment is changing very fast, for example, in IT, so there are always innovations, there are always changes. We also have the fashion industry, which is frequently changing. So fast changes are taking place in the environment. So there is really uncertainty. Therefore, businesses should analyze the business environment often, or all, or most of the time, or always, as much as possible. Then we have the next one is dynamic. Business environment is highly flexible and keep changing. It is not static or rigid. That is why it is essential to monitor and scan the business environment continuously. Next one is complex. It is very difficult to understand the impact of business environment on the companies. Although it is easy to scan the environment, but it's very difficult to know how these changes will influence business decisions. Sometimes change may be minor, but it might have a large impact. For example, a change in a government policy, like increasing the tax rate by 5%. Looking at the change in the tax policy, it could be minor, but it may still have a large impact in your company because you have to pay additional tax. So it is a decrease in your revenue. So that is complex. Then, of course, relativity. The impact of a business environment may differ from company to company or country to country, depends on the situations. So those are that is what we are. Those are the features of business environment. So why is it important to study the business environment? A study of business environment is highly significant for business management for the following reasons. Okay, first is to ensure smooth functioning of business cycle. The smooth functioning of business cycle depends on the availability of inputs and disposal of outputs. So, business enterprise obtain inputs like raw materials, machines, technology, the manpower, and others from the society, which is part of the business environment, and dispose of output. Okay, so when we say dispose of output, these are already finished goods that you're going to provide to the society. Hence, business management must study business environmental factors so as to be aware of changes in input supplies, changes in social factors like consumer behavior, the state of competition in industry, etc., and to ensure smooth functioning of their business cycles. Next advantage of studying the business environment is to take advantage of environmental opportunities. A study of business environment is essential to take full advantage of opportunities to gain hidden in the opportunities in the business environment. Some examples of opportunities for gain might be export concessions offered by the government, rising demand for many products, looking at the expanding markets now, availability of skilled manpower, due to rising levels of education in society, and availability of latest technology. So there are a lot of opportunities around us, and opportunities can be determined from the external environmental factors. Next is to avoid legal consequences. Legal regulatory factors are important dimensions of business environment. By studying business environment intelligently, management can avoid legal consequences, which may arise due to non-adherence to legal provisions applicable to the business. It is better to swim with the current than against it. Okay, so you just have to follow what are the laws and regulations in the business industry, because we have to adhere to the current laws and regulations. If there are new laws or regulations or policies, we have to adhere and follow it. Next is to ensure better competitiveness and higher profitability. Okay, so by studying business environmental factors, particularly competitive and technological, management can ensure better competitiveness and higher profitability for the business enterprise. Next is to ensure survival and growth of enterprise. A study of the business environment is a great aid in ensuring survival and growth of the business enterprise amidst volatile and turbulent environmental factors. Volatile and turbulent factors are those which are likely to change suddenly and easily become dangerous. For ensuring survival and growth under the circumstances, management can do better planning. So introduce organizational flexibilities, come out with innovations, resort to joint ventures and mergers, or follow a policy of systematic adaptation. Next one is to better meet social responsibilities. By studying the social, religious, cultural factors, business management can capitalize on changing social values like emerging fashions, uh, craze for a higher standard of living. Okay, so creating demand for new types of luxurious goods or services, etc. Okay, so we meet the current social responsibilities, like we're now in our current situation. So what are the social responsibilities that we can take advantage to? Okay, so we are very particular now with our health and safety. So those could be the products that we could boost in the market. Okay, so those are the information on business environment. So we have already studied, we have already learned about business environment. So when we say business environment, these are the different factors that could affect a business internally and externally. When it is internal, these are the factors that you can find inside your companies, and it may include your people resource, your human resource, the different resources within your organization, as well as the processes that processes for our products and services itself. Then for external factors, it could be categorized into two. We have the macro environment and the micro environment. When we say macro environment, these are forces that we do not have control over. So it may include political, the environment, okay, so the social, technological, okay, then the economics and the legal factors around our business. Then we have the micro external environment, which may include the different stakeholders of the company. We have the investors, we have your customers, we have competitors, we have the suppliers, the consumers. So those are the different factors that may affect our business, and it is very important for businesses to analyze its business environment so that it could keep up with the fast pacing or fast changing environment within the business industry. Okay, so this business environment will help businesses to sustain its operation and continue its growth and increase profitability. So those are the informations about business environment. Thank you everyone, and see you in our next lesson.